We're inside the unit now. We're going to go over some things you need to know. Just point out some different switches. All right, so we're going to start here. You have awning light and a speaker switch, which switches your speaker use to inside and outside. Your main power, which is disconnect your battery. You're going to disconnect that. That's going to shut all your lights down and everything to the coach. Turn it back on. If your switches are on, they'll come back on. Awning in and out. You push out, it goes out a little bit. Back in. Once it's in and it stops, it's okay to push that button a couple times. Do not overhold it. You have interior lights, the power step, and exterior lights all located here. And then you have your leveling. Now, I've already turned the key on. You have to have the engine key in the on position. I recommend the engine be started when leveling. So it's the first thing you're going to do when you back into a site. Come back here, turn it on. You're just going to hit auto level if you're confident that those jacks are going to come down. If you feel like it's too off camber, it's okay to chalk up the wheels. Just make sure you match underneath the jacks how much you've chalked up the wheels. Right now we're leaning left and to the rear, mostly because we have the slide outs, but you do have some options here. Coming down, retract all. Once you've done, you just hit enter and all your jacks will come up. It tells you the temperature, battery voltage, the camber, and then you can have a manual level. You can hit enter and you can actually raise and lower the front, rear, right and left jacks, just trying to move it. When you want to retract jacks, you're going to push retract in manual mode. That will light up, and then you'll retract front, right, rear, or left. We're going to move up here. That's just going to time out. That's going to turn off. You can shut it off, but over here we're going to have your start and stop, just like you had on the generator outside. Only in here, when you hold stop, this light comes on when you're priming. Push start, and it'll be this light that lights up. And since we already primed it and had it turned, it started pretty quickly. We're going to shut it back down. You have an inverter in here, which you can turn on whenever you're running. That way you can run different things as far as most likely the refrigerator. But your engine has to be running for that inverter to work. Slide 1, extend and retract. That's your slide right here. Slide 2 is the bed slide. Extend, retract. And you have some monitor panel action going in here. All labeled to find out which one. You're reading from empty to full or low to charging, depending on what. Tank heaters, that's going to be your holding tanks. In case you're inclement weather and you don't want your tanks to freeze underneath, you're going to fire that up. And it's a 12-volt heat pad. Water pump, and then water heater controls are here. You can use both depending on how much water you're going to be using. We're going to come over here. We're going to go over the range and a little bit about the microwave. Okay, some older units, not that old actually, have the range hood that comes here, and it had a 12-volt fan and light. They've put that 12-volt fan and light inside of the microwave now. So as you can see right here, vent, fan, and surface light, they do not come on because it needs 110 power to operate a microwave. Come back down here. Slide this. These burners are all lit via an igniter. Okay, you're gonna turn that to flame, turn the sparker. The gas is not on right now, this won't light. You want to light the oven, you're going to turn that to flame, push and hold, turn the igniter. Okay, that will be located underneath the shelf inside here. You do have a light switch that turns on all these lights, but this also doubles as the actual oven light inside. Turn that on. We're going to go to the refrigerator now. These buttons are not actual push buttons, they're touch buttons. You just lightly touch your finger on them and it will come on. A means auto. You'll see a little plug always come up here first. When it is plugged in or you're running your generator, it's going to use electricity. When you're not plugged in or using a generator, it's going to automatically flip the gas. It's at the coldest setting. You want to change the setting, you're going to have to change it here, and you're just going to hold it and then start tapping. You can set it in any setting that's preferred. Opening the fridge right here, you're just pushing, you're pulling. Same thing, just reverse it to upside down, push and pull. The red light means that the gas is not on and it did not light. That's a fault line. Anytime that shows up, you have to turn this off. Figure out the problem. In this case, turn the propane on, come back in and turn it on. You do have a power control system here. All right, what you're gonna do is you can monitor some things here. Right now, you can't really see it. It's gonna say service none. You could select. You could scroll through and find out your water heater, your reefer, your AC, the rear, AC front, all hooked up. They can have power to them. The amount of amps being pulled as you're using things, but there is no service right now, so that would be a 0. Thermostat here, you're going to have 2 of these located in the coach, one for each air conditioner and one up here for also the furnace. So you select your mode, desired, and then your desired temperature, and that's how that will work. You're going to want this fan setting into the auto. If at any point you want to use the heat, you keep that fan in auto, and it will not kick on during heating. Otherwise, if you have it in the on, it's going to sense power. The air conditioning fan will actually kick on while you're trying to heat the coach. So keep that in auto. Back here's the switch. You also have a slide control. This is just a light switch. You also have a slide control in and out on the slide here. You can use that. Remember, your slide controls will not work when the key is in the on position. Here's your other thermostat for the rear air conditioner, and that just has the fan and the cool. Obviously, you can have these in either one. You do not have a heat mode to disrupt with a fan. Go in here. One last control that we really need to see is here on the floor of the toilet. All right, so there's a little diagram on the back of the lid that's going to tell you what's going on, but I'm just going to show you right now. Halfway down on this pedal adds water, all the way down is flush.